Title: Changing the Development of Western Civilization. The far-reaching and profound effect of Persians winning the Battle of Marathon. The Battle of Marathon is considered a significant event in Western history, and the impact of that battle was incomprehensible at that moment. In 490 BC, Athenian democracy and the Persian Empire met on the battlefield, and the emergence of democracy was profoundly affected by the results of the battle. If the Persians had won, Athens' democracy and Greek culture would have been effectively excised, and Western civilization would never have arisen as it is today. A victory for Persia. Following the Persian triumph at Marathon, the future of democracy in Athens was in jeopardy. The military might of the Persians was beyond doubt, and they quickly brought Athens under their sway. Freedom was expelled and despotism installed by the Persians, the very antithesis of what Athens had hoped for from the democratic experiment. As the news of the Persian success spread across Greece, many other cities, fearing a similar fate, surrendered to Xerxes. The repression of democratic systems. During Persian dominion, Athenian democracy was deconstructed. Persian-designated leaders and functionaries took the place of democratic city-state structures and ruled with an iron hand. The assembly of free debate and choice in Athens was replaced by Persian directives enforced by military authority. The standards of liberty and congruity in Athens were eradicated, supplanted by the regulations of Persian autocracy. Stunted cultural growth. The decline of democracy in Athens was the beginning of the Greek civilization's creative draft. The most brilliant time in Athenian history, the time of Pericles, never returned. Under Persian rule, Tissaphernes treated the Peloponnesian War as a kind of semi-official Persian admission of the hitherto shamefacedly concealed patronage of Sparta. Noble war continued. From thence onward, the spontaneous creations of genius are rare, and the activity of the Greek mind is a reflection of the alien official rigors of the Persian Empire. The diminution of authority. In the absence of Athenian democracy to guide them, the other Greek city-states languished in obscurity beneath the thumb of the Persians. The great spread of Greek culture, once driven by the power of democracy and freedom of the individual, waned. The Persians, with their vast resources and dazzling military might, imposed their own cultural hegemony over the region, smothering the light of Greek civilization. Changed perspective. The defeat of Greece by Persia at Marathon proved to be of decisive historical outweigh. The democratic institutions that had been created by Athens and exported throughout the Greek world were set aside, and power came to be defined by the dynamic force of the ruling majority and dominant minority. Freedom, a concept to be essential in Western intellectual history, receded, waiting for new times and men to recall it. The lasting impacts of Persian dominance. After the Persian triumph at Marathon, the world saw the triumph of Persian customs and its control. The Persian Empire carried its power everywhere, determining history for all humanity. However, behind the front of a large authority, the planet saw only the hollow vestige of what Athens had been. When the Persians dominated, all the best instincts of the Athenians died out. A visit to Persepolis, to Susa, to the Persian royal parks at Pasargadae can tell you so. A ray of hope. In spite of the black future that followed the downfall of Athens, there remained a few who, for all their disappointment, were yet resolved to rely on themselves alone, and to look to no one else for atonement, to prefer their independence to enslavement, and to live at any rate for the hope of a better fortune. Final thoughts. Marathon shows how a single moment can change the course of history. If the Persians had won, democracy would have been snuffed out before it got off the ground. But the flame burned on, motivating future generations to make the world a better place.